Hey everybody, it's Dan Sims with Success by Day, and today I'm going to be talking to you about something from this book that I just recently started reading, In a Sunburned Country by Bill Bryson. The author says, I walked for miles through Kirribilli, Neutral Bay, and Cremorne Point, and on through the prosperous precincts of Mosman, before at last I came to Balmoral, with a sheltered beach overlooking Middle Harbor and a splendid waterfront park shaded with stout Moreton Bay figs, the loveliest tree in Australia by far. A sign by the water's edge noted that if you were eaten by sharks, it wasn't because you hadn't been warned. Apparently shark attacks are much more likely inside the harbor than out. I had also read in Jan Morris's engaging and cheery book Sydney that the harbor teems with lethal goblin fish. What is notable about this is that in all my reading I never came across a single other reference to these rapacious creatures. This isn't to suggest, I hastily add, that Miss Morris was being inventive, merely that it isn't possible in a single lifetime to read about all the dangers that lurk under every wattle bush or ripple of water in this wondrously venomous and toothy country. So wonderfully put. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that he's talking about the dangers of traveling in a country like Australia, but really this applies to life in general. It's impossible to read about all of the things that can go wrong. And this is a sort of phenomenon that has intrigued me for a while because there has to be a balance between preparation and action. For anybody, but specifically entrepreneurs and anyone who's embarking on some kind of journey toward a goal. Action without preparation is wasteful. All of the energy that it takes to act on an idea is so precious, and time is the most precious commodity. And if you are not prepared before you jump into something, then you're almost certainly going to fail. On the other hand, if you keep preparing too much, preparation without action is also a waste of time. If you keep preparing, if you just prepare, gain as much knowledge as possible and keep gaining it, and never apply it, that is just as much of a problem, actually more of a problem than just jumping into something. There has to be some kind of a balance between preparation and action. On one hand, you can't gain all of the knowledge you're going to need to reach your goal. There are just too many variables, too many things that you would have to learn about to make it worth it. On the other hand, if you just jump into something, you're not going to know anything about what you're doing. So the important thing is to find a balance between preparation and action. Prepare for the worst case scenarios. Prepare for the things that you can foresee happening, and then at some point you have to make the leap. You have to jump into what you want to do. Because if you keep preparing, you're never going to act. And if you just jump into something, you're not going to be prepared at all. But at least you'll gain that small bit of experience. But still, you have to find that perfect balance. Well, I mean, not a perfect balance, but you have to find a good balance between preparing for what you're doing and actually doing it. Both sides of that coin need to be touched upon in your as you're beginning your journey toward your goal. So that's your Success by Day for today. I hope that was helpful. I will leave a link in the description to this book, and I will see you next time.